Hello again, it's me, your friend, and I'm here with a distraction, I guess you would call it, from all the nonsense that's going on. And that distraction is Bill and Ted. Yes, Bill and Ted. I've been really into Bill and Ted, and this speed paint is just gonna be me talking about how much I love Bill and Bill and Ted 3, which I guess there's gonna be spoilers, depends how much I talk about it. But yeah, I hope you guys like that. It's also, yeah, it's just play it while you're drawing or whatever. It's just a nice little unscripted video, and I hope I make sense. So enjoy. So, as you all know, Bill and Ted 3 came out a few days ago, I think a week ago probably, and it was awesome. I fucking loved it. I thought it was so cute. I thought it just really, especially with the writing of the, God, where do I begin with this movie? Like, it wasn't, in my opinion, I still think Bogus Journey is the best movie out of all three of them, but Bill and Ted 3 definitely still had the heart of the Bill and Ted movies, and that's all I could ask for. I don't care if the plot was dry. I don't care if there was too many side plots or anything. I don't give a shit about that. What I need is the essence of the films, and to me, that's the fact that Bill and Ted are two such optimistic dudes who just want to help. That's all they want to do, and they gave us that in the third movie. And I also just love their daughters. Well, I like to think that what's their name? Jeez, I always confuse their names. Billy, which is Ted's daughter. Not daughter, sorry. Billy, which is Ted's kid. I like to consider them to be non-binary since their actor's non-binary. So that's pretty cool. And also the actor said that they played their role as a non-binary character. So I'm like, cool. I'm just going to add that in there because I think that's so cute and awesome and special. So yeah, I love their kids. I fucking love how they dress. I love how stupid they are as well. I like that they didn't make the kids like as dumb as their not as dumb. I like that they didn't make the kids like smarter than their dads, like more competent. Like they were like, yeah, they did they were responsible for making the music, but they also got themselves killed, and it was really fucking funny. So I like that. The princesses once again they were just there. They were what that red letter box show calls the not gays, like to make sure that Bill and Ted remained, I guess, heterosexual. But I still like the princesses though. They're okay. Yeah, it was just really fun. I feel like this whole year has been such a shit show, personally and like political wise, and it's just really nice to. I'm really glad that I rediscovered Bill and Ted again, because it provided me with so much serotonin, so much joy, and just unfiltered happiness and positivity that I really need right now. So Bill and Ted 3 coming out was just the icing on the cake, It was just I really needed that. So yeah, that's me going off about Bill and Ted, because I love this franchise. I don't know if I want to call it a franchise, but I just love the films. I love the dynamic that they have. It's very special. You don't really see a dynamic like Bill and Ted in a lot of movies, I feel like, especially with male characters. I guess, yeah. Like, they literally, like, they don't, ugh. I'm, like, fucking tripping over my words, but they don't have to say it, but they love each other. And it's so cute.
Excellent! Excellent!
Like in the movie in part 3, Bill and Ted take their wives to marriage counseling, and the problem is that they can't say I love you. They keep saying we. They keep saying Ted and I love you, or Bill and I love you. Like they keep mentioning each other, and I'm like, dude, this is like the gayest shit ever. I love it. Also, spoilers, but in the end, they literally grow old together. Is that not the fucking most beautiful shit you've ever heard? God, it makes me emotional just thinking about it. But alright, that's enough about Bill and Ted 3. But I think you guys should really watch it. It's really funny, it's hilarious, it's cute, and Keanu's really adorable in it. I like watching him, like, as Ted now. Also, Alex Winter, like, is incredible. Like, you would never think he wasn't acting for a good 30 years. So, yeah, go check that out. So this is a piece that I did for some contest that Bill and Ted people had. I don't know what it was. But it was like a contest where they would have a couple judges and Keanu and Alex Winter pick, the best piece. And if you won, you would win like $2,000, I think. So I was like, oh shit, I want $2,000 and I really want Keanu to see my art piece. So yeah, I took the chance. Unfortunately, I did not win. That was pretty depressing because I really wanted that $2,000, but it is what it is. I had a lot of fun with it, and it's been a while since I did like art contests and stuff. I usually don't draw things for other people, I guess, for free, because I'm poor. I need fucking money, and it's it was nice. It was nice to draw something just because, for the pure passion of it, just for the pure passion of it. Like when they used to have those fandom art contests and stuff. I don't do those anymore because I'm like, well, I need, if you want me to draw for you, you gotta pay me. But I'm like, you know what? I love Bill and Ted so much, I'm just gonna do it. And I had a blast, so I'm really happy I did it. So for this piece, I had a couple ideas actually. There was one where they were eating outside of the van of theirs. They were just chilling, but then I'm like, that just doesn't feel very Bill and Ted. Like, it does. Like, maybe Bill and Ted in between, I don't know, like, saving the universe. But I think I was just like, I really wanted the energy. Like, when you think of Bill and Ted, the last thing you think of is them just sitting, eating takeout in front of their van, which is, I love stuff like that. But I'm like, I really wanted something that felt Bill and Ted, because it was a contest. So I'm like, let me not be too niche about this. Let me actually like make people know it's Bill and Ted. I still think that the results were very niche though. Like it doesn't really look Bill and Ted-esque, but I still love the way it came out. But anyway, I was going through a lot with the thumbnails, and it was to a point where I'm like, okay, I think I need to just fucking like go with the one that I liked in the first place, which was the van, and then the shit coming out of it, and then it having like this nice circular or triangular composition. And I think it worked out pretty well. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna pick that one. So I just took that, I grabbed it, I blew it up, because I used to do this thing where I would redraw the thumbnail and then work off that. But then I'm like, I was so stressed. I'm like, this is too stressful to just redraw. So I'm like, fuck it. I just took the thumbnail and I blew it up. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so much fucking easier. That's so much easier than just, because what I do is, what I used to do is take the thumbnail. Well, before that, I would redraw the thumbnail. Then I would take the thumbnail, blow it up, and then try and redraw the thumbnail, and then do the line art. Now I just blow up the thumbnail, copy and paste it just in case I don't like the thing, and just work into it like I'm like doing surgery. And it's just really, it's a lot more fun. It feels like traditionally drawing. So yay. But yeah, so I went with the Akira Toriyama inspired like kind of look. I wanted it to have like this Dragon Ball Z, or not Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball, or more closer to like his comics or his manga. And because I just love the way he draws cars, and I'm like, if I'm gonna draw the van, because that was the thing too, I wanted them eating outside the van, because I wanted to like zoom in so I wouldn't have to draw the whole thing. But then I'm like, you know what, I really want them driving, and I really want the van to be the centerpiece. But the problem was, realistically, when people are driving cars, you can't really see their faces, it's not really, so I'm like, damn, how the fuck am I gonna, because I want you guys to see their faces as well. That was important too. I'm like, how do I do this? So I looked at his work, and first of all, the way he draws cars is just so fucking fun. I made sure that the way I drew cars was definitely inspired by his way, because the way he draws cars is like, or vehicles or any vehicle, like they have their own character, like they're fun looking, and you could tell certain things are exaggerated. And I noticed that in some of his work, he drew like vans, but it's like those windows are kind of tall. It's pretty big windows, but then you realize he did that because it's so you could see the characters. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it too. So what I did was I drew the van. Well, the van originally was just a normal ugly van, and I'm like, well, you know me. Every vehicle that I see, I turn into a Volkswagen. So of course it's gonna be a Volkswagen van because I love Volkswagens. So I turned it into that, and Volkswagen's vans are not very tall, but I decided to take some artistic liberties and just heighten it up, like make it really tall so that your eyes would go to the characters. And I think it worked out pretty well. Like it looks like a van, and that's all I need. It doesn't need to look super accurate. It doesn't need to, be super realistic, because that's not what I'm going for. I just want the symbolism. If you see it, it looks like a van, I win. I did my job. but yeah, I really enjoyed working with that, because I usually don't draw cars. I'm not good at drawing cars. But after seeing the way Akira does it, or Akira, I love the way he just does it. I'm like, that's how I want to approach it. And I did some studies too. Like if you can probably see it on the top of my references. There's a little window of like little cars and stuff. Cause those were those were the studies I did of the van, because I don't really draw vans or cars like that. And I almost got stuck in that process, like the work in progress process, the thumbnails and all that, because it's kind of scary, especially drawing a car that big. I wasn't sure if I was ready for it, but it was just like, you know what? I want to see this. I want to see my imagination come true. That's what's important to me. So if there's shortcuts that I have to take to make it happen, then so be it. And I think I learned something about art, that it's really just about taking shortcuts and figuring out what is the best way you can represent what you want to represent, right? Yeah. But anyway, I'm fucking digressing. What the hell was I even talking about? This is what happens when I don't script things. But yeah, I think it came out pretty good. I also really I really wanted you guys to see Bill's shirt. That was also really important because it says look who's 50, and to me I just think that's so fun. That's a fun little thing to add, because they're 50 now, and I wanted you guys to just know that, because I don't draw older people much. I really do like drawing older people, but I don't do it enough, so I'm trying to get better at that. Yeah. So another thing about this piece was that I did it in 2 days. So for this piece, for me, composition was very important, because it's a poster, right? So if you're doing a poster, you want to make sure the eyes go to either the title or I guess the image. I mean, that's what I think. I don't know the basic rules of poster 101, but that's what I think. And for me, I wanted it to be both. I wanted your eyes to go, like I mentioned earlier, I wanted like a circular or triangular composition. So I made it in a way so that your eyes would go to the car, the boys, the girls, and down to like the instruments. And I added those instruments too, because I felt like they would lead you back to the title. So they go back to the title, and then it goes right back to Bill in the car, and like that. I don't know if it came out exactly like that, but I feel pretty clever for that. I'm gonna pat myself on the back, because I pretty big brain for that, But yeah, that's what I like about art, though. It's all about like just experimenting and figuring out like what you want. And luckily for this piece, I kind of knew exactly what I wanted, so that makes it a lot easier. Usually when I'm just drawing, I don't thumbnail. Like for 90% of the stuff I make, I don't thumbnail it. I just do it. But if I'm doing like a project, like a piece like this where I need a certain concept, I will thumbnail it because it just makes it way easier. But yeah. I also really wanted a nice simple color palette, nothing too crazy, it's just my usual color style. But the car, I wanted it to have a little bit more depth to it. I wanted it to look like Akira Toriyama's cars, like the way he colored it. And yeah, it was pretty simple, I used a nice cool marker tool. That was pretty fun. But yeah, I think that came out pretty good too. But what I found really interesting about this piece was that I did something I don't usually do, even with big pieces, and that's the fact that I took, I think, 3 days to do it. For a lot of people, that's probably like, okay, excuse me, all right, it's 3 days, so, but to me, that's a lot. Usually the most time I take on a piece is 2 days, probably, yeah, or I guess 10 hours or something. I don't know the maths, but yeah, I usually like to do things in one sitting. Something like this, I would usually do, no lie, probably in a day. But that's if I didn't plan everything. So I'm like, I really wanted it to look good. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take my time. I was also streaming, so it's harder for me to draw and talk without, sacrificing a little time from taking time away from drawing to talk. But I figured that was the only way I was gonna do it because I was so damn scared of doing it. So yeah, but yeah, I usually like to do everything in one sitting, which I don't think is the best thing to do. I actually really, really had fun with this piece because I took my time with it. Like, it was like, I don't know if other artists do this, but for me, I always have a hard time spending quality time with my art pieces, if that makes sense. Like, for a lot of pieces I make, I'm just like, all right, I'm doing it and I want to finish it. And that's it. And I enjoy it, but not as much as I enjoyed making this one. Yeah, like it's just really nice to just really take in the piece and finish the line art and then look at it the next day and then see, okay, I can fix this, I can fix that, and then add the colors and then look at it the next day again and be like, all right, I can fix that. Like, it's just nice. I can't believe that I don't do this often. It drives me crazy that I just want to finish things so much. So it was just really nice to just take my time with this piece and have everyone join me in the process, and then just really like just enjoy it. And I think I need to do that more. Just take more time. I need to be more precious with my work, and I feel like that's making this piece taught me to be a lot more precious with my artwork. And I feel like we as artists, at least I don't appreciate the process as much as the result. Just spend more time, get to know your art. Like, really, really get to know it. I felt like this piece felt like I was on a little date, It was to a point where when I finished it, when I was like really done with it, I almost felt sad because it was like saying goodbye to it. So that was a feeling. I don't know if I ever had that feeling before, where I'm sad to finish a piece because it means I won't be working on it anymore. So that was really interesting. The more you know. Well, anyway, so yeah, they're basically going on a nice little road trip. They're just chilling out. Maybe they're gonna go on a cross country road trip, touching on various Circle K's and like telling their kids about like, I don't know, the history of whatever. I don't know. I just like the idea of like taking something so big like Bill and Ted, because the stories are pretty big and epic. Not that epic, but I like taking big things and just really shrinking them into nice little slice of life kind of situations. And I don't know, it just makes me happy. I love father-daughter stuff. Especially with how sweet Bill and Ted are to their kids. Well, father-daughter in terms, I guess, of Bill and his daughter. But it's just really, it's really sweet. I don't know. it touches my heart in a way that nothing else can. But yeah.
Where are the wives? Where are the wives? Where are the wives?
And where are the wives? Who knows? I don't know. I always like to think they divorced. Like my headcanon is that first Ted and his wife divorced very early on, like maybe in the early 2000s, and then now recently Ted did I say I don't know, Bill divorces his wife later on, and then he's like, his marriage is on the rocks and shit, and Ted's like, have you simply tried maybe having more sex, dude? Like something like that. And then he realizes, oh my god, I fucking have a crush on my best friend for 30 years. And yeah, that's how I imagine it. That's pretty much all I have to say about this piece. Not much. I just really wanted to explain like the process and all that, and just go on and on about Bill and Ted, because I love those dudes, and their vocabulary is starting to seep into my vocabulary. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that you guys also will hopefully learn to spend time with your art as well. You know, take it on a date, look at it for a few hours, you know, leave it and then go back to it. I think it's really important, especially in this day and age of like art just being churned out so, you know, so quickly. Like every day people are posting new things, and it's like, wow, we don't really appreciate the art of creating anymore. We kind of just want to shit things out so we can get comments and attention, and it's like, you know what, no more. Gone are the days of fucking posting art just to seek attention. We should definitely take more time on our pieces and make art just to enjoy the process of it. All right, well, anyway, bye for real this time, because I just went on another fucking tangent. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Sorry if it was like kind of like all over the place. If you want any other things you'd like for me to talk about, like anything interesting, just let me know. I do have another video, another speed paint. I don't know if I'm gonna talk during it though. I might just put some music, but I really liked the piece so much, so I really want you guys to see the process, so I'll probably post that. But if you want me to talk about anything else or any other ideas of videos you might have for me, let me know in the comments or whatever. Like it, dislike it, I don't give a shit. All right, bye. Party on, dudes, and I love you.